Welcome to the Tupelo regular City Council meeting of November the 1st, 2022. At this time, everybody rise for an invocation by Rosie Jones and the Pledge of Allegiance by Chad Mills.
May we bow our heads. Dear Lord, give us the strength and the knowledge and the know-how, the compassion to make informed decisions that are pleasing to you in your eyesight. Bless our city, dear Lord Jesus, that we have peace in this city. In Jesus' name I do pray. Amen.
Amen. Salute. Pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time we call the meeting to order and have a motion to confirm or amend the agenda and the agenda order.
Mr. President, I recommend that we confirm the agenda in the agenda order.
Got a motion by Travis Beard and a second by Buddy Palmer. All in favor? Motion carries. Proclamations, recognitions, and reports agenda. Item 1 under proclamations in the matter of a proclamation for Native American Heritage Month. Mayor?
Yes, I'd like to ask Sarah Bell Harris to come up and read that proclamation for us, please.
I have a proclamation from the Office of the Mayor declaring November Native American Heritage Month. Whereas the history and culture of our great nation has been significantly influenced by Native Americans and indigenous people, and whereas the contributions of Native Americans have enhanced the freedom, prosperity, and greatness of America today, and whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich heritage throughout the United States, whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976 and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August 1990, designating the month of November as National American Heritage Month. Now, therefore, I, Todd Jordan, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Tupelo, Mississippi, do hereby proclaim November as Native American Heritage Month in Tupelo and urge all our citizens to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
We have no Boys and Girl Scouts employee recognitions.
Yes, we have a couple, Mr. President. First one is Jan Powell. With sincere appreciation, the City of Tupelo recognizes Jan Powell with the Convention and Visitors Bureau for 10 years of dedicated employment. All right, our second one is also from CBB, Jenny Bradford Curley. With sincere appreciation, the City of Tupelo recognizes Jenny Bradford Curley of the Convention and Visitors Bureau for 10 years of dedicated employment.
All right. At this time, we'll move to public recognitions. We'll start with Ms. Nettie.
One of the things I would like to mention is on November the 9th, we will be having Mission, Mississippi, a luncheon at Wesley United Methodist Church, and we're inviting everyone to come to this. This is a group that has normally been meeting every month on at 7 o'clock, but they will be meeting at 11:30, so all of you will be able to make it to this meeting, and it's dealing with racial reconciliation. I'd like to also invite everyone to the Thanksgiving Day service on the 16th at the Link Center, and we would like for all of the community to take part in that event. And please don't forget to vote on November the 8th.
Travis?
Mr. President, I want to give a shout out to the Cadence, not, he used to call it Bancorp South, it's Cadence Bank, and Kevin Kirkpatrick. I was able to take my grandkids to Disney on Ice, and we had a great experience and a wonderful time, and thank you for providing good family, wholesome entertainment.
Chad? We'll come back.
Yeah, I just was going to give a shout out to an organization that I was able to represent the city this weekend. I think it was Saturday night, and it was called Dance with the King. I don't know if any of you attended it, but it was a well-attended event. It was a fundraising event for schools that don't have the funding for dance classes. They currently support 5 schools. A couple of those are in the city, and a few are in the county. It was an Elvis-themed / Halloween costume party, so it was quite a lot for the eyes going on there, / ballroom dancing. So it was really cool to see. It was fun to be a part of it, and I think it's an organization that is a great thing to support, because myself, I have an older daughter that's been in dance since she was 3 or 4 years old, so just want to bring awareness to that. Had a good turnout.
Rosie?
Yeah, I would like to say thank you to the Haven Acres community, Saving Our Youth. We had our first trunk or treat, and we had several kids come out, dance and play games, and we gave out candy. Also, the Southern Heights community for an event we are planning to do, which is make wreaths for our each entrance to our neighborhood.
Buddy?
Yes, I'd like to remind everybody, and I'm sure most everybody in here realizes that we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have now if it wasn't for our veterans. And Veterans Day will be, put it on your calendar, November the 11th. What time would it be, Alex or Don? What time is that in the morning? At the
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. So I'd be very respectful to come out and honor the veterans of all of our armed forces.
Where is it?
November 11th.
Where?
At
Veterans Park.
our park, my park.
We all represent the entire city, buddy.
Yeah, the only thing I have is I'd like to thank the neighborhoods across the city for doing the organized Halloweens last night. A lot of them went to a lot of trouble and worked with the city on blocking streets off where the kids could walk and not have to worry about traffic and all that. And I think it's a pretty big turnout. All right, mayor's remarks.
And just to add to that, Lynn, that takes a lot of coordination between CVB and the police department, public works, and getting barricades out there. So we appreciate everybody working together. And and I think, when is the dedication of the road? Okay, the 9th, November 9th, will be a dedication from MDOT of Korean Way and Veterans Highway, I believe, at the interchange of Veterans and I-22. So there'll be a ceremony, I'm not sure what time, but there'll be some ceremony on the 9th also if anybody would like to come. And Chad, Dance Like the King, they're always looking for people to dance. So
I know, we had a great panel of dancers right here.
To participate in that next year, I'm sure that'd be great.
I'll think about that.
So at this,
Can I ask, did you dance, Chad? Did you dance at that?
No, I just observed.
I just checked.
No, we actually, as a matter of fact, we were there representing one of my clients' receptionist who was dancing, which went on to win the People's Choice Award and raised the most money. And total, the dancers raised over $40,000. That, yeah.
So if they'd asked, you would have, right?
I didn't know. I did not confirm
Mr.
that.
Palmer, Chad can really dance. He just didn't do it. He's really.
Nettie, that's enough now. Don't encourage it.
Yes.
All right, this time we're going to move to the public agenda and public hearings. Item 2, in the matter of public hearing for lot mowing. Do we have anybody here to speak about a lot mowing? Seeing none, on item 3, in the matter of a public hearing for appeal of Department of Development Services and Tupelo Planning Committee denial of application COMP 22-12 Southern Heights RV Park. So do we have anybody here, not the appellant, that comes later, but do we have anybody here that's here to speak about the RV park? Anybody? Okay, if you want to speak, you can just line up on the wall and come to the podium and state your name and your address, and you'll have 5 minutes.
I think Miss Ashby is supposed to be speaking, aren't you? Miss Ashby.
All right, what's your name?
My name is Kentrell Boyd at 3804 South Green, and I'm a businessman here in the city of Tupelo. And I wanted to speak on behalf of the RV park, as it would be, I believe, something that Tupelo could hold as something to be cherished in the Southern Heights area. I just think that we must grow. If we don't grow, we digress. And so it's an opportunity for someone who's not only a resident here, which I speak of Mr. Richardson. He has a vision for some of the things in the city of Tupelo, and I'd definitely love to see those things come to par or to pass. I believe that if we motivate ourselves by doing great things, other people get blessed by it. And so he's a motivated individual, and he motivates me. And so then that way I'm able to. It's something that can be contagious in a way when we have people that want to grow a city and do great things in it. And I think that that's how we make history. Sometimes, we have those people that would not like to see us succeed, and yet those things come second when it comes to the community betterment and beautification process. And so I would definitely like for those of you on council to consider making that a dream come true and a success, something that the city of Tupelo would hold as it's a prize for the Southern Heights area, and that it would do good for the community. And I just thank you for hearing me.
Thank you.
Sorry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And state your name and your address.
My name is Victoria Ashby. I live at 1011 Evelyn Drive here in Tupelo. I am a current resident of the Southern Heights community, and I have been a resident of Southern Heights for 16 years. In fact, it was my first purchase. Upon notification that there was an RV park that was in question to be built in my community, I came to a meeting here, and Mr. Richardson said that no one came with any research. So, and being an educator, I felt like he was right. I did not research why I didn't want an RV park. I just knew I didn't want one. So I went back out and I did the research as to what were the benefits of an RV park and who would want to come to one in my neighborhood. So I don't know if any of you know this, but Journey, a store was built named Journey right off of Highway 45 South. It is exactly 0.2 miles from Highway 45 South. And I went to Journeys and I asked them what was their capacity to hold vehicles for 18-wheelers and if they could hold RVs. And they, of course, said, yes, we have the ability to do that. We have 20 parking spots, 20 lots for RVs, 18-wheelers, whatever wants to park there. And then I asked them, how often do you all reach capacity? And he said, as of yet, we've yet to reach capacity. I said, oh, okay. So I sat there for about an hour, and I was hoping that maybe somebody with an RV would come through, because Mr. Richardson said that people come down 45 all the time looking for somewhere to pull over in that area. But for an hour, I sat there and no one ever showed up. So I decided that I would go to Love's, which most of us know is right off I-22. And I went to Love's and I sat at Love's for 4 hours, and I encountered about 20 different people that were in RVs. But before I go there, I do need to tell you that Journeys who has yet to reach capacity, is exactly 1.1 miles from the spot where Mr. Richardson wants to build this RV park. But when I went to Love's, I stayed there for about 4 hours, and I encountered about 20 different people that were in RVs, families, and I asked all of them, when you go out with your family or when you out in your RV, what are you out for? What are you leaving home for? What are you looking for? And all of them was consistent in their answers. They said, we travel for family vacations, we're looking for fishing, camping, things of that nature, outdoorsy, biking, hiking, things of that nature. And I said, okay. I said, well, there is an interest in building an RV park in my neighborhood, and I had the map where he said that he wanted to build it. Well, I showed the gentleman, showed most of them where I lived on the map, and then I showed them where a projected RV park was supposed to be resort. And somebody said, why would y'all want to build an RV park there? I said, that's where he wants to build. He said, that's like leaving home. I said, well, you wouldn't want to come here? Several of them said, no. I said, why not? He said he would have an in-ground pool. And most of them said, well, I already have an in-ground pool at home. If I want a pool, I can stay at home. And then I said, well, he said he's going to have miniature golf and a couple other games. And then most of them all said, I can do that at home. Why would I leave home to go home? When I leave home, I'm going for a purpose. I'm going to enjoy something that I can't have at home. And so with that thought in mind, I came back to this committee, and I came back to my neighborhood, and I said, well, no one that I talked to, out of 20 people that I did encounter on I-22 coming through Tupelo, no one said that they would rather have an RV park in a residential area. That didn't make sense to leave home just to go home. So I'll stand here before you today with the mentality that why would anyone who owns a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 RV leave home just to go home? Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else to speak about the RV park? Now, Jeremy, you're fixing to come up and get 10 minutes during the next section. So anybody else? We got one more.
My name is Gwendolyn Ewing. I live at 1017 Terry Road. I've been there for 28 years, and I am against RV parking out the area.
Anybody else?
Good evening. I'm Paula Patterson. I live at 1112 Evelyn Drive. I've been there for 20 years. And I am totally against the RV park. Everybody has stated the obvious, that our children and our neighborhood are important to us. And all I see when talking about this RV park and building all this is greed. 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 And all of it is going exactly into his pockets. And when he's asked what would he do or what he has in place in case some of our children come up missing or injured, he doesn't have anything in place. All this is greed. People from other neighborhoods got up and said something, and if they want the RV park in their neighborhood, then put it there. The lady from East Tupelo came out and she said that she thinks it's a nice idea. Well, out in East Tupelo, there's an Elvis Presley area. Put it out there. Put it in her yard, if that's what she wants. But when you come to talking about somebody else's neighborhood and things that are going on, it's best to just leave it alone, because you're not going to be a part of this. And it's not going to be affecting you, it's affecting us as a neighborhood, and not as an individual, as a neighborhood. And all I see, again, is just greed. Thank you.
All right, do we have anybody else? Okay, at this point in time, we'll close the public hearings and go to the appeals. Item 4, in the matter of appeals hearing for Jeremy Richardson of the Southern Heights RV LLC. So the way that this is going to work is we're going to follow the rules of a standard court, whether it be a Mississippi court or a federal court on an appeal. And in that case, the appellant always goes first. So Jeremy, I have 10 minutes, and then and then Mr. Newman will make a statement who's representing the city. So, Jeremy?
Thank you, everyone, for your time. My name is Jeremy Richardson. I live at 932 Williams Street. I've been a resident of Southern Heights neighborhood for 22 years. Where I'm proposing this RV resort is in my backyard. There's 15 acres of property. The northern edge of that property adjoins the city tree farm, as well as the Theron Nichols Park. There's a good 5 acres of wooded area. There is an outdoor area of fields. Looking at this property, if you were to actually look at it, most of these residents would not even see any RVs other than when they came and left. We're only proposing slips for 20 RV Class A size slips, which is 60-foot slips. State parks just don't accommodate them. Truck stops, you can't compare that to an RV park, let alone an RV resort. RV resorts are similar to hotels. There are different classification of hotels as there are RV parks. There's campgrounds, there's different levels and qualities of RVs that travel through Tupelo, and you do see them at Love's Truck Stop because they're passing through and fueling up. So to have a truck stop within a mile of this RV resort just shows me that it is compatible to support an RV resort near this neighborhood. I canvassed my neighborhood before even putting in applications. I've spoke to my neighbors. I have 4 neighborhoods that adjoin our property that have signed a petition that they are in agreement to having an RV resort on their property, near their property, adjoining their property. The other RV park we have in Tupelo, there's 2 large apartment complexes right next door. So basically it is just about in a residential area with that many apartments near it. We have discussed security, we've discussed fencing, that's all in our plans as far as keeping any customers, any residents from coming across the fence line of where the RV is being proposed. On the south side, there's a large hill. You would not even see any RVs parked where they would be parked. We've talked about gates, cameras. Anyone that comes into our RV park would have to have a registration, just like a hotel, just like you know who's coming into this city. You would also know at this RV park. Most people use credit cards. I believe that there's a need for Tupelo to accommodate the larger RVs so that when there are events in Tupelo at the Cadence Center, that they have a place to stay. There's also travel ball. We're right near Ballard Park. We're right next door to Theron Nichols where there's some softball fields. So it could be very accommodating to the neighborhood. The map that you guys have in front of you is this map here. What it is I went and looked at the petition that I had signatures. I had over 100 homes I went to, and 88 of those homes that I went to in this neighborhood were willing to sign a petition saying they were in agreement to it. I'm asking that the council looks at those signatures and those names, and this map, this outlines them in relation to the proposed RV resort. In green is the homes that said they were in approval of an RV resort in Southern Heights neighborhood. I would like for them to consider that as equal value to everyone here that's tonight, because they do have a voice. It's written down, they've signed their name to it, they've agreed to the idea of an RV park in this neighborhood. And that's all I'd like to say. I appreciate you guys' consideration, and if you'd like to look at the property, I'd be happy to show anybody the property and how it could accommodate and benefit the city as well.
Thank you. So at this time, does anybody, is it a question and answer?
Sure.
Okay.
Council, I've got some questions.
Yeah, so at this time, the council will have a chance to ask Mr. Richardson questions. Buddy will go first, and then we'll start down with Chad on the end.
The thing, I know, Mr. Richardson, and I see here that this in the green is where you got permission or they didn't have a problem with your proposed park. Is this correct?
I prepared a petition. I read the petition to them. I told them the plans of where this was going to be located. I showed them maps in relation to their property so they could get a bit better understanding and education about where the RV park would be, where the entrance would be located. We spoke about security to a lot of these residents. And so that petition that I went personally to each individual and spoke to, I have a list of over 80 signatures.
So I'm sure you probably had some that were opposed. Did you?
I counted out of 100 homes, less than 10% was opposed to it.
And that's
When I
right
spoke
around
to them
that's
personally.
right around that RV park, correct?
This is my neighborhood where this map is.
Okay.
It's all the way around it. I did not go as far as Shonda Circle and speak to anyone over there. I really didn't think that anybody in the area of Shonda Circle would be in opposition of it because they're right next to a trailer park.
I guess what I'm saying is, and I probably didn't do my due diligence, I was not at the planning committee. I didn't hear anyone speak for or against it, and I haven't visited that area. So to ask me to vote on it tonight, I think I will have to have some more information if that's possible, so I could make a decent decision. But thank you for your comments.
Chad?
Yeah, so you mentioned a trailer park nearby, and this is an RV park. Is just the mobility as far as the difference between the two, and what's the amount of time? I mean, here's what because in my mind, I'm envisioning people would set up shop and be there for months, however long they want to be there. And I mean, is it a permanent spot for people that they want to continue to rent the spot?
We have a proposal for 20 slips. Those would be on a maximum of 2 weeks. Speaking with the planning committee, they said they believe 4 weeks was too long to allow someone to stay there for 4 weeks, and I said, well, we can change that to 2 weeks. I'm not in anything against as far as not allowing them to stay too long. And so, yes, I guess it is the mobility is one aspect of it, as well as the value of an RV nowadays can well be over $100,000 each. So difference in value.
And just one other question, not to drag it out. To tag onto that, if someone stays there for 2 weeks, are they allowed to just, I mean, even though they have to, quote, check out, they can check right back in like in a hotel?
I wouldn't be allowing something like that. If we put a 2-week maximum stay, they would have to actually check out and leave. If they decided to come back the next week, I don't have anything specifically in place for that. I'm not sure how the other RV park handles that. That's in Tupelo. I would look at their rules and regulations to make sure that they're not doing that, and if they are, how are they, stopping people from doing that?
And then finally, the last question would be on the actual interest of people coming there. I know you're going to offer other things, and put in a pool, et cetera, things like that. Are there other properties similar to this within or around our area that you're aware of?
I looked at Red Bay Acres, which is in Alabama area. They've got a very nice facility, very professional. It's asphalt and concrete slabs. So the larger RVs, the Class A's, they want a nice place to stay. And a lot of them maybe just passing through Tupelo and wanting to go to Atlanta or Birmingham, or they maybe through the Texas. Maybe they're traveling across country. We don't have a proper place for them in the city of Tupelo. So when the idea of what could we do with our property, yes, we could build homes on it, apartments, duplexes. There's a lot of options for property, especially 15 acres. That's beautiful property. We looked at what does the city need, what would be beneficial to the city, and I don't see that the city is accommodating the Class A RVs.
Thank you.
Rosie?
Yes, I have some questions. You mentioned that you had 80 signatures. Is any of those people here today, or was they willing to come with you today?
As you guys well know, it's probably a lot easier to get opposition than it is to get someone out of their house to come up into public for something that even if they believe in it, that does not mean that that's something that they necessarily have a dream about, but they're not in opposition of it. So I made sure that that was what I wanted to verify, because I know that people don't get mobile as much as they used to.
Okay, so no one. So you mentioned that these people would be able to stay for 2 weeks so they can come and go at will?
Well, yes, most
Okay.
RV parks, people can come and go. They don't
Okay.
have to stay in the RV park. Some bring vehicles that's attached to the RV, and they get out, they visit the city, and they see the sights. Go visit Elvis Presley's birthplace, or maybe they're here in town to go shopping. There's a lot of reasons why they travel, and we need a reason for them to stay.
Okay. Do you have background checks set up for the people who are planning to rent these slots?
I would actually consult maybe some other RV parks, how they're handling that. Usually if you have major credit card, just as if you're renting a vehicle, if you're staying at a hotel, it would be similar to staying at a hotel.
Okay, no background
Policies.
check. So what about the tags? So do you have any way of running tags to make sure the tag is correct on the vehicle and it belongs to the people that are actually staying there? So we would have some kind of trail or some kind of background on them?
We would have security cameras that could capture tags coming and going off of our property, so we know who's coming in, who's going out. When they register, just like a hotel, they would list their tag number, what color their car is, or the model of their vehicle. That's customary.
Okay. So my problem is you have no way of knowing really who these people are other than the information they provide for you. No background check to make sure the people that are supposed to be checking in and the tag is correct. Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure hotels don't do background checks on their
We're talking about an
tenants
RV park.
either. Well, it's a similar situation. They're paying to stay on a piece of property, so therefore I would compare it to a hotel. I don't think hotels are doing checks like that to find out who's in their parking lot. I know they document it.
Reason being, your property backs up to the back of Lundell School. And so we're not at the hotel, we are in the neighborhood. And so we would want the children to be safe, and we need to know who and when and where, and make sure they are who they say they are when they're that close to a school. Now, my next question is, the gentleman that came up and spoke for you at the beginning, does he live in Southern Heights?
Yes, he does.
Where, again?
3804 South Green.
Or is that a business? Is that not business? That's a business. Okay, thank you.
Did you have a
Finish,
question?
Yeah, I'm finished, thanks.
Nettie?
Southern Heights and Haven Acres, that area is just like my ward is predominantly black. And I know in my ward, I'm very concerned about the upkeep of Ward 4, just as they are concerned about their community. And I'm just concerned about this RV park, which is RVs are motor homes, so they move around. They're not like a trailer. They have a trailer park down there, but it's been there for years, and so it was if anything has gone in there, it was grandfathered, and it's been there for some time, and it's really in bad shape, that particular area. But I'm concerned about the security of people in and out of that area. It pulling the value of property down. That's one of the nicer areas of African Americans in Tupelo. And I'm just really concerned about it pulling the value of the property of those who live in that area down. RV parks are really nice, but they're usually on the outskirts of cities out in, the rural area. And so for that reason, I just can't, because I'm concerned about the overall city of Tupelo and the quality of life. And I don't think our RV park would fit into design of our city and helping it to move forward. So for that reason, I just cannot support that. I'm concerned about the safety of the children, those people who are in RV, riding in RVs, usually coming from other places. And we don't know, you say you don't do background checks, so you don't know who may come into the park. So for that reason, I just, at this point, cannot support you putting it there, maybe somewhere else on the outskirts, but not in that particular area, right in the heart of a neighborhood, a residential area.
Travis?
Yeah, a couple of questions. I just looked on my maps, 3804. Have you been to this gentleman's house, 3804 South Green?
That's residence for him, yes.
Sir?
He handles security for me, so that's his residence on a 24-hour basis.
My question is, have you been to his residence,
Yes.
3804
Yes.
South Green? Mine is showing it as a warehouse at the end of South Green, not
Yes.
a residence.
Yes, that is correct.
So he lives in a warehouse?
He handles security for me.
Does he live in a warehouse?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as
How
a
much-
24-hour security, yes.
You get his mail at 3804
Yes, he
South
does.
Green?
Yes, he does.
Okay. How many acres total are involved in this park?
15 acres. There's 2 acres that is a part of that parcel which adjoins Parish Street, which is not going to be part of the RV park, even though it's shown as the same parcel. That's just the way the property was proposed. But those 2 acres on joins Parish Street would not be a part of the RV park. If you're looking at the map with the green homes, the shaded area that says proposed RV resort, that shaded area that's a white or gray looking color, that's the actual area of where the RVs would park.
And how many acres is that?
I would have to look specifically. It's probably
Approximate.
about 6 acres.
Okay. When you say that you have thought about security, maybe fencing, what area do you propose to have fencing around? That 6 acres or the 15?
The 15 acres, that would be
All the way around?
the wooded area to the west side and the south side wooded area, all the way over
What kind of fence are you proposing?
privacy fencing,
Okay.
wood 8-foot privacy fencing.
And the only entrance would be off of South Lawndale. I don't know the name of that little street where South Lawndale ends
Mitchell.
there. But you have,
Street.
pardon?
I think it's Mitchell Street.
Yeah. You have the dark blue where they're entering off of Lawndale from Cliff Gookin, I think. Would that be the proposed entrance to the resort?
That is, yes, sir, the proposed entrance and exit to the resort would be the one entrance.
Okay. And then if they were to come off of, this happens to be in at least part of South Gloucester is in my district. They could come off of South Gloucester over to Mitchell Road or South Green. The only entrance you're showing is off of Lawndale, but there are other ways to get in there, am I correct?
Yes, there's roads that are other entrances to that. During registration, we would require and let them know the entrance and which road they should need to GPS from to get to the RV resort.
Have you done any research? You said they might be on vacation, they could be traveling. How do you plan to advertise for people to know that I've got this resort here that you could park your RV on?
Various forms, from digital billboards to billboards on the highways to social media apps to let them know, hey, in Tupelo, Mississippi, there's an RV resort. It's first of its kind in the city of Tupelo. Mainly digital media.
Yep. Why do you think there's a need for this in Tupelo? I know we got a park up by the mall up north of town. What leads you to believe that there's a need for it in this area?
The lack of parking at state parks for larger RVs, Class A RVs.
Class A can't park at Tombigbee State Park or something?
Their slips are a lot smaller, and they just don't accommodate as near as the same.
All right, one more question, and this is hearsay information, but you said there are 80-plus names on the that have signed the petition. You kept up with those. You did not keep up with the approximately 10% that were against it, you said? Is that correct?
I did not.
Okay. I've heard that some of the people who signed the petition didn't know what they were signing and said they signed the petition, but they were against it. Have you heard that?
That's absolutely correct. I saw there were two at the first planning committee that came up here. They were told that they were going to have an RV park in their front yard right there on Parish, and that was not what the map was showing at all. So they were told some misinformation. I don't know how. I guess just hearsay.
Okay. I would like to get some accurate information of the 88 or so people. How many of them actually are in favor of the park? Is what I'd like to know. That's all I have.
All right. Do you have anything else?
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. All right, Tanner? And to be fair to Mr. Richardson, Tanner, you'll have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll start with last July, Mr. Richardson submitted his proposed plans for the development of an RV park on a 10-acre parcel in the Southern Heights neighborhood. At that time, Mr. Richardson was advised that that property is zoned medium-density residential and that an RV park is not a permitted use in the medium-density residential zone. At that time, Mr. Richardson submitted an application for a compatible use hearing. The compatible use hearing was conducted. When a compatible use application is submitted, that requires the planning department to conduct an in-depth review of the proposed development and to conduct a public hearing with the surrounding property owners to determine whether the proposed development, whether a special circumstances exist with that particular site that might justify the approval of an otherwise unpermitted use. That public hearing was held. It was roughly an hour to an hour and a half long. The minutes of the hearing are there in your packet. There were less than a handful of people that spoke in favor of the RV park. There were multiple individuals who came up, spoke, acknowledged that they had signed the petition originally without really understanding what they were signing, and wanted the record to reflect that they did not support the RV park once they realized what exactly they were signing. Following the public hearing, the planning department denied the application for a compatible use due to the fact that under our development code, in order for a compatible use application to be approved, the applicant must prove three things. One, that their proposed development is in harmony with the area and is not substantially injurious to the value of the properties in the general vicinity. Two, that the development conforms with all special requirements applicable to the use. And three, will not adversely affect the health and safety of the public. I think the bottom line is that medium density residential, that particular zone is intended for single family homes. The development code lists 10 uses that are permitted in the medium density residential zone, one being detached dwellings, which is going to be your single family homes, 2 patio homes, 3 townhouses, 4 bed and breakfast, number 5 daycare, you can have a home daycare, 6 home occupation, 7 park or open space, 8 public safety station, 9 satellite dish antenna, and number 10, a swimming pool. Nowhere in there is RV park. The bottom line is Southern Heights is a residential neighborhood, and an RV park simply does not belong in the middle of a residential neighborhood. That was the basis for my decision to deny the application, simply because an RV park is not in harmony with a residential neighborhood. Following the denial and compatibility hearing, Mr. Richardson appealed that decision to the Planning Committee. At that time, the Planning Committee held a public hearing, and there were essentially the same amount of individuals that showed up to speak against the application at that time. The Planning Committee unanimously upheld the denial of the application, and tonight I ask the council to uphold that decision and uphold the denial of the application simply based on the fact that an RV park does not belong in the middle of a residential neighborhood. And I'm happy to take any questions, clarify any comments that you've heard tonight.
Any questions of Tanner? Okay, if we don't have any questions of Tanner, we'll close the discussion on the appeal. And at this time, the city council can go one of 3 different directions. We can approve his appeal, we can deny his appeal, or we can remand it back to the planning committee. So at this time, we need a motion to
Would you go over those 3 again, please?
okay, so we can either approve his appeal, affirm his appeal, we can either deny his appeal, and then the last one is send it back to the planning committee.
Mr. Chairman, can we not have a motion to put this on the table for perhaps more information?
All right, so before we do that, I need to let council say, because during an appeal, it's different than just a regular item. It's on the agenda, an action of the council. Ben?
I believe that you could take it under advisement, but I would ask that because of the interests that are involved here on both sides, that that be done as opposed to a motion to table or to table it, but have a time that the council will come back and make a decision on that. And so that
You can't.
So at this time, I'm looking for a motion.
I would like to make a motion that we deny the RV park in the middle of the residential neighborhood.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a subsidiary motion to put this item on the table.
Okay, well, we already got a motion we already got a motion up, so we got to take action on that.
that would be that is a procedural type motion that can be made after a second. There was a second. I'm sorry, I was writing everything down.
So, wait, say that again, Ben.
There's a motion to table the main motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Is that Mr. Palmer's motion?
Yes.
Mr. President.
I second that.
Well, hold on, so,
The one that.
well, then we got, Rosie had one, and we got Buddy had one, so how did,
Was there a second to Rosie's motion?
well, there wasn't a chance, there was not enough time to get a second, to ask for a second.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I second her motion.
Okay, so we're going to deal with the denial first, and then if that does not go, then
No, it will be now that it's proper for a motion to table, if you want to restate your motion.
And Travis has seconded my motion, Travis?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion to deny by Rosie Jones, and it was seconded by Nettie Davis. And we got a motion by Buddy Palmer and seconded by Travis Beard to actually table the denial. And if we're going to table it, we need a friendly amendment to the tabling motion on a date that we're going to make a decision per council.
Mr. Chairman, can I get our council, does the motion to table, is it not the primary motion now?
It is.
So we'll have to go with the motion to table first, correct?
Well, I think that the president asked if you would allow to change that motion to table to a date certain. And if you do not, then it's not debatable, not amendable.
So I don't understand.
Okay.
So how is his motion, the primary motion?
The main motion is your motion. There was a motion, a procedural motion to table that motion, and that has to be acted on first. And if it's tabled, then if it's not tabled, then it goes back to your motion.
Okay.
Thank you.
But if we're going to table it, we still have to add a date to it, like you recommended.
You don't have to. It would be a lot better resolution.
I would suggest the date of the next council meeting. My only concern is 80 signatures, and if they're valid or not valid. And
all right, so
I like that information.
So, Mr. Palmer, the next council meeting is the 15th. Are you good with the 15th?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, the first thing we're going to vote on is the motion to table Rosie's motion and a final decision be made on November the 15th. Do we have a motion with a motion by Buddy Palmer and a second by Travis Beard to table the motion till November the 15th? All those in favor, raise your hand. All those that oppose the motion to table, raise your hand.
You would be for that one. You would be for that.
I raised my hand to table it to November the 15th. I raised my hand to vote for that if that's gonna come back up. That's why I voted
That's
for
right.
that.
So the vote is 3-3, so therefore the motion,
Does not carry.
it does not carry. So at this time, with Rosie Jones's motion to deny the appeal and seconded by Eddie Davis, all in favor of denying the appeal, raise your hand.
I guess I go for that. Mine failed.
The motion carries, was it 4-2?
I'm not sure.
Travis, how'd you vote?
Yeah, I mean,
Abstain.
if the tabling failed, the only options we have are deny or approve.
That's correct.
Right.
So what did you vote?
Deny.
Okay, so the motion is 5-0 with one abstention.
Right.
The appeal fails. At this time, we'll close the appeals part of the hearing and go to the citizens' hearings, which we have none. We'll go to the action agenda, item 5, in the matter of an ordinance. No, that one's still on the table, and we're not ready to take that off yet, are we, Jenny? Okay. Routine agenda, item 6. Do I have a motion in the matter to approve the minutes of the October 18th, 2022 regular council meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Got a motion by Travis Beard and a second by Buddy Palmer. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 7, to have a motion to approve bill pay. And the bills are paid by Chad Mims, Travis Beard, and Lynn Bryan.
I make a
I move
motion to
that we
pay
pay
the
the
bill.
bills.
I got a motion by Eddie Davis and a second by Rosie Jones. All in favor? Bills are paid. Item 8, to have a motion to approve the advertising and promotional items.
So moved.
Second?
I got a motion by Travis Beard and a second by Buddy Palmer. What are here we go. We have $1,700 to PPI for Parks and Rec Leisure Service Guides and $1,690 to PPI for the Aquatic Center Splash Brochures. All in favor? Items are approved. Item 9, to have a motion to approve change order 1 for Gun Club Road improvement.
I move that we would approve, change order number 1, the Gun Club.
Second.
I got a motion by Danny Davis and a second by Travis Beard. Dennis?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Yeah, so we had some discussion about this yesterday. We had to redesign our roadway slightly to shift that alignment away from a section of roadway. So this change order covers additional curb and storm drains that are required to accommodate the shift, and then gutter the remaining sections of roadway, and that'll provide some continuity throughout the entire project. And then during the time that the project was shut down for about 6 months, some of our supplies changed prices, so we had to incorporate that into this change order. So that's the long and short of it. And again, as I shared yesterday, keep in mind, we still are, even with this additional change order, well under the original engineer's estimate on this project. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Anybody have questions for Mr. Bonds?
I do. Dennis, so this is going to be a little more expensive.
Yes, sir.
And is it because, partially because you're redirecting it and curb and guttering it?
Yes, sir.
Also?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor of approving the change order? Motion carries. I have a motion to approve the lien resolution for unpaid demolition invoices.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Travis Beard and a second by Chad Mims. Tanner.
Mr. President, tonight we have one lien resolution for 3424 Walsh Road, property that council voted to demolish and clean up the remaining debris. That cleanup and demolition has been conducted, and asking the council to approve a lien the amount of $8,600 until the invoice is paid in full.
Any questions of Tanner? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 11, have a motion to approve the properties for lot mowing.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Buddy Palmer and a second by Rosie Jones. Any questions on the lot mowing list? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 12, to have a motion to approve, accept the Planning Committee minutes of October the 3rd, 2022.
Move that we accept.
Second.
Motion by Travis Beard and a second by Rosie Jones. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 13, to have a motion to approve the City License Commission minutes of October the 6th, 2022.
Move to approve these minutes.
Second.
A motion by Buddy Palmer, a second by by Travis Beard. All in favor? Minutes are approved. Item 14, in a matter of review, to approve the Build Air Overlay Design Review Committee members for 2022-2023. Somebody got a list.
Is that the one you table, or is this related to another part?
Well, we got to get these approved, and once those are approved, then Jeannie's going to work with them and make some revisions to the tabled item, and then we'll take the tabled item off the table and approve it.
Well, I move that we would approve the overlay design review committee's members.
Got a motion by Nettie Davis.
Second.
Got a second by Buddy Palmer. And the names that were elected by the neighborhood are Dr. Amy Blossom, Edwin Crenshaw, Eric Gibbons, Danielle Ratliff, Jessica Roy, Rebecca Van Horn, and Rachel Pierce Wade. All in favor of approving the list? Motion carries. Item 15, do I have a motion to approve the request to surplus vehicle for auction?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Travis Beard and a second by Rosie Jones. Tanner, I guess that's one of y'all's old vehicles up there.
Yeah, this is actually Mayor Jack Reed's Toyota Prius. It has kind of taken out on us and just asking for surplus vehicle, and we'll transfer that to Public Works for auction.
All in favor of surplus in the vehicle, raise your hand. Motion carries. Item 16, I have a motion to approve a request to surplus and trade-in assets toward the purchase of new office furniture.
I move to approve this request.
Second.
Got a motion by Buddy Palmer and a second by Travis Beard.
Mr. President, I just want to note that these are 9 office chairs that we're having surplus to trade-in for new chairs, and the amount that we've been offered for the trade-in is $600 total for all 9 chairs, and just want to ensure that the minutes reflect that $600 amount.
Okay. Ms. Shelton will make a notation in the minutes for that. All in favor of surplus in the chairs, raise your hand. Motion carries. Item 17, to have a motion to approve the surplusing of a weapon for retirement.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Travis Beard and a second by Nettie Davis. John.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Recently, Lieutenant John Knight retired from the Tupelo Police Department, and it is customary with the department and allowed by state statute to surplus this weapon and allow the officer to purchase his weapon for $1.
All in favor of surplusing John Knight's weapon, raise your hand. Weapon surplused. Item 18, I have a motion to approve an agreement, I have a motion to approve a sole source and agreement with Flock Safety.
I move that we accept the sole source agreement with Flock Safety.
Second.
Got a motion by Travis Beard and a second by Buddy Palmer. John.
Yes, we have been looking to get a subscription for license plate readers in the city. License plate readers are devices that capture the license plate day or night, record it in a database, and can compare it to other times it's been to the city. Other departments use the same system. If there's a NCIC placed on that vehicle, we'll know about it immediately. If the car is wanted in a kidnapping or anything like that, we'll know about it immediately. This will really help us with the perimeter of our city, knowing who's coming in and coming out.
Any questions, Chief Walker? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 19, do I have a motion to approve an interlocal agreement with the North Mississippi Narcotics Unit?
I so move that we would approve the North Mississippi Narcotics Unit interlocal agreement.
Second.
Got a motion by Nettie Davis and a second by Travis Beard. John?
Yes, the Tupelo Police Department is the host agency for the North Mississippi Narcotics Unit. We are one of the few in Mississippi that does this. We work with other agencies because drug trafficking and drug dealing is not just in Tupelo. What takes place in Baldwin and Nettleton affects Tupelo. So we have an agreement with the following cities: Amory, Boonville, Fulton, Okolona, Tupelo, and Baldwin. We have an agreement with the following Sheriff's Department: Chickasaw, Lee, Itawamba, Monroe, and Prentice. This agreement must be signed by all these entities yearly. Legal has reviewed this and has approved it.
All in favor of signing the agreement, raise your hand. Motion carries. I have a motion to approve an order rescinding council action of September the 20th, 2022 to approve bid 2022-032 PD, the purchase of 9 Ford Explorer Police Unit upfit packages.
I move that we rescind the council action of September 2022 to approve bid number 2022-032 PD.
Got a motion by Buddy Palmer and a second by Travis Beard. John? Well, no, it's all right. Basically, but we made an action, if y'all remember, we were going to buy some vehicles, and we made an action to upfit these 9 vehicles, and now the vehicles are not available. So we're rescinding that action, and they're going to purchase the vehicles already upfitted at a later date, correct?
That is correct.
All in favor? Motion carries. Item 21, I have a motion to approve the remove items from the asset and surplus at auction for public works.
Move we approve the assets to be removed from our inventory and surplus at auction.
Second.
I got a second, Travis Beard, is a motion by Travis Beard and a second by Buddy Palmer. Chuck?
Yes, sir. This is a 15 piece of equipment. We'd like to sell it at auction with J.M. Wood. It's the first time we're doing business with them, but we'd like to put these on the auction block, please.
All right. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve a contract for the Lee Acres Pickleball Complex?
I move that we approve the contract.
Motion by Travis Beard and a second by Chad Mims. Alex?
Yes, just would ask y'all's support on this. We've had a lot of great conversation about pickleball courts here recently, and just anxious to work with Shipman on coming up with a good design and for more good stuff to show y'all in the future. Also, tonight or this afternoon, the CVB board voted in the approval of $1.3 million for this project, and it will come before y'all in a budget amendment very soon for that. So very excited to hear that.
Good, thank you. Any questions on Alex?
I'm just happy that we've decided to do this and do it over in the Lee Acre area, which will help improve that park and help those all those new homes to be involved in this along with other people in the city.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 23, have a motion to approve quotes for the Aquatic Center chemicals.
I move we approve the quotes for the Aquatic Center.
Second.
Got a motion by Buddy Palmer and a second by Rosie Jones. Alex?
So this was bids for pool chemicals for 12 months. We had 5 items on the list. One, which was number 4, the muriatic acid, was taken off both of them because this is something that the Aquatic Center will purchase in-house in their budget. The other 4, 2 of them went to one company, 2 of them went to the other. The Memphis Pools was awarded was the lowest on the Purolite filter media and also the calcium chloride. For that, the Adcock Pool and Spa was the low bidder for the 60-pound pail of AccuTabs, also the 50-pound bag of sodium bicarbonate. So just ask your approval tonight so we can move forward with these chemicals for the rest of the year.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 24, do I have a motion to approve Tupelo Sports Council contract?
Move that we would approve contract Tupelo with Tupelo Sports Council.
Got a motion by Nettie Davis, second by Travis Beard. Alex?
So these contracts are something that we do this time of year every year. And last year we spent a lot of time with legal trying to help and get the verbiage correct and work on some updates that were needed to be made. And this year they are exactly the same as they were before. And these contracts are that help these associations essentially raise money on city property. And with that, in return, they come back and we give money back to the city for different things involving in projects and also with equipment.
Good. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries 6. Motion carries. Item 25, do we have a motion to approval of Cadence Bank Arena minutes of September the 26th, 2022, and the special call meeting of September the 29th, 2022?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Chad Mims and a second by Rosie Jones. All in favor? Motion carries. Item 26, have approval to award bid 2022-036 WL.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Travis Beard and a second by Buddy Palmer. Johnny Timmons.
Yes, at the last meeting, y'all approved the approval for sealed bid for this directional boring machine. And I would just recommend to you J.J. Merchant at $7,777.77.
Any questions, Johnny?
I'd like to hear him repeat that.
Yeah, faster.
Yeah, a little faster.
All in favor? Motion carries. Item 27, have a motion to reject bid number 2022-039 WL concrete poles.
Move to reject this bid.
Second.
Got a motion by Buddy Palmer and a second by Rosie Jones. Johnny?
Yes, we took the bid on the 12 months of concrete supply of concrete poles. We had no bidders, so we've to reject this, and we'll rebid it again.
All in favor of rejecting the bid? The bid's rejected. Item 28, I have a motion to award bid 2022-040 WL Water Materials, a six-month supply.
So move.
Second?
Motion by Travis Beard, and second by Buddy Palmer. Johnny?
Yeah, this is the material that we use in the water department, from everything from valves to piping. I would recommend to you on this bid a consolidated pipe and southern pipe for this bid.
Any questions of Johnny?
Let me ask you, Johnny, you might have to have more materials, or you might use less. Am I right about that?
That's correct. That's
So
right.
this is
We've got all the variables in here to cover that.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor? Motion carries. Item 29, have a motion to approve bid 2022-037 WL.
I move that we would approve this bid.
Second.
I got a motion by Nettie Davis and second by Travis Beard. Johnny?
Yeah, this is a 2001 International Sewer Backer truck. Y'all surplused it at the last meeting, and we took sealed bids on it. And I would love for you to award it to Paul Smithy Construction for $25,000.
All in favor? Motion carries. Item 30, have a motion to approve bid number 2022-038 WL Sources of Supply.
Move that we approve.
Second?
Got a motion by Travis Beard and second by Buddy Palmer. Johnny?
Yes, this bid is with, for any kind of emergency work we do, water and sewer wise. Also any video work when we're videoing the sewer mains and things. Again, I would recommend to you Paul Smithy Construction for the actual work, and then video would be M&M, a video company. We use both of these reputable companies, done a great job for us, so I recommend those two.
Any questions?
Yes, Johnny, what could this amount to? Do you have can you tell us what this could amount to?
Well, it's just like a while back, we had an issue with the Toyota, the pressure line from Toyota.
Right.
And we brought them in an emergency situation, and it was about $165,000.
Okay.
And they're here local.
Thank you, sir.
This,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Rosie.
this M&M company, is this the heating and air?
No, ma'am, no, no, it's strictly a video company. They video underground sewer lines.
So are they here in Tupelo?
Local. Yes, ma'am.
And the other part of it is Ripley?
Yes, they got two offices, one in Richmond, one in Tupelo. Yeah.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 31, in a matter of approval of bid number 2022-041 WL.
Move to award.
Second.
Motion by Buddy Palmer, second by Travis. Johnny?
Yes, as you know, we've been for years doing our LED program, and matter of fact, we're about at 65% complete with that project. I would recommend to you Stuart C. Irving Company for these LEDs. As you'll see in the notation on your front street, we got a bid from a company called TriStar. Their lumens do not meet our requirements, so I recommend Stuart C. Irving too.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 32, I have a motion to approve the state-approved holidays for city employees.
I'd be more than glad to make the motion to, for the state, us to approve the state holidays for the city employees.
Second.
I got a motion by Nettie Davis and second by Buddy Palmer. Todd?
Yes, this is the holiday schedule laid out by the governor. We'll be off Thanksgiving Day, the day after Thanksgiving, which is Friday. And then because Christmas falls on a Sunday, we'll be off Monday the 26th, and then also Friday the 23rd. And same way with New Year's. This is on Sunday. Our holiday will be on Monday the 2nd.
Any questions? All in favor? Opposed?
Workaholic.
Hey, I'm sorry, 9 years straight, so I can't break my record. Have a motion to ratify and accept contract ratification of deeds to real property for 216 North Spring Street, 218 North Spring Street, 405 Clayton Avenue, 1112 Chapman Drive, 3304 South Green Street, and 320 South Spring Street.
I move that we would purchase contract ratification and acceptance of deeds for the stated properties.
Second.
I got a motion by Danny Davis, a second by Buddy Palmer. Stephen, this is stuff that we've already bought. We're just now accepting the deeds, correct?
That's right, yes. Council's already approved the purchase of these properties. So now that we've actually closed and the deeds been transferred, we'll just have this motion to approve the contract of purchase and to accept the deeds.
Any questions of Stephen?
Yes, I'd like to ask, so the purpose of doing this is to do what we got to do with that property and resell?
That's right. So part of the property, or part of the process when a governing body is purchasing property is to bring those deeds back and formally accept the purchase of them.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Item 34, have a motion to approve contract with JBHM Architects Professional Association for the remodel of the city council chambers.
I move that we approve the contract with JBHM Architect.
Second.
I got a motion by Travis Beard and a second by Rosie Jones. Don Lewis.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. During the budget process, we worked directly with JBHM to acquire quotes and estimates for the renovation of the second floor council chambers and some other areas. And I bring this contract to you for your approval.
Any questions of Don?
Yeah, I got one.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is the picture at of us that was down on the first floor when renovation was going on? Are y'all still doing the renovation down on the first floor?
It's not complete. We are working, what we were trying to do was come up with an appropriate place for all the past council and mayors, and we haven't decided. The thought was we may put it in the council's room, but then it wouldn't be seen by the public.
Right. So I'm gonna need do I need to make a motion? Do I need to put that on the council? Did we put our picture back downstairs?
You can just say, I'd like my picture back.
Okay, I want my picture back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All in favor of approving the contract? Motion carries. This time we'll move to the study agenda. They have two items. Item S1, in the matter of an ordinance amending Chapter 7 of the Tupelo Code of Ordinances pertaining to buildings and building regulations.
Move it up.
Move it up.
Move it up.
Okay. Missy, that will be moved up. Item S2, in the matter of an ordinance amending Chapter 10 of the Tupelo Code of Ordinances pertaining to fire protection, fire prevention and protection.
Move it up.
Move it up.
Move it up. Okay, both items are to be moved up. At this time, we need to determine a need for an executive session. Do I have a motion to determine a need?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Buddy Palmer and a second by Nettie Davis. All in favor of determining the need, raise your hand. The need's been determined. Mr. Logan?
Yes, Mr. President, we have some very short items for executive session. We have two matters of pending litigation that we need the approval of the council to go ahead and settle those or not settle them. Then we have the acquisition of real property and also amending a city lease property to add an option to purchase. And we just need update on some of those things that we've talked about in the past.
Okay, so for the press, Will we be taking any action when we come back?
No, some of these will be ratified at a later date, or there will be public items based on the decision tonight to go forward.
Okay. All right, very good. I have a motion to go into executive session.
Move to go into executive session.
Got a motion by Buddy Palmer and a second by Nettie Davis. All in favor? City Council is now in executive session. Thank you all for coming.
Who we need?